So it's day 6 of being on the right, and today I want to talk about why the term birthing people is offensive to women. The argument for this term is that transgender men can also become pregnant like biological women, but honestly, to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, if a transgender man had real gender dysphoria, wouldn't they by any means go out of their way to not become pregnant? Because, as a trans woman, I would give anything to be able to have a child, to be able to procreate, but I can't. So wouldn't it be the exact opposite for a transgender man? At least I would think so, right? If you truly feel like you are meant to be born a biological man, why would you want anything to do with the female binary, such as pregnancy? Not to mention, there have also been several studies that have shown that going on testosterone and having a child at the same time can cause a lot of birth defects. Transgender people make up less than 2% of the population. You cut that in half to just transgender men, that's 1% of the population. Are we really going to affect the majority of society, a biological women, and tell them they have to be called a certain thing to make 1% of the population happy? And keep in mind, I have transgender men in my comments telling me they agree with me, that they do not understand why any transgender man would want to go through this experience. So it's actually probably even less than 1% of the population. A huge role for a majority of women in society is the ability to bear children. I'm not saying every woman can reproduce. There are obviously some outliers, but I think we can all agree it's a strong majority, right? I've had multiple women tell me that this term is offensive to them and that they don't want to be called birthing people. And if people are going out of their way to respect my pronouns and who I am as a person and my identity, why am I going to go out of my way to disrespect that person and call them something that they don't want to be called, that they don't identify with? It just doesn't make sense. Like, there's a mutual respect here, you guys, that has to be given. And not only should we be listening to those women, we also should be listening to transgender men that also say they don't agree with this and that they would have feelings of unaliving at the idea of even experiencing pregnancy. We got to find some common ground here, you guys.